stop the sun from shining. Whenever you're around me, the birds stop.
Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Now, I'm very upset at the moment because the current Conservative government that we have in Australia really has been disrespecting women for a very long time. This is not limited to the Conservative government, who, by the way, call themselves the Liberal Party, but they are nothing like Democrats in America, okay? And so I understand that Americans might get a little bit confused by when I refer to the Liberal Party. I'm referring to a party that is more like Republicans in some ways, but not totally, okay? Not altogether the same as the Republicans in the US. Okay, so there has been so many scandals over the last 6 to 8 weeks that are coming out, things that have happened in Australia and at Parliament House, you know, where a woman has alleged that she was raped. It's not being investigated. There was an investigation, but they stopped it. And it started with that, and it has just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and every day you wake up and when you look at the news, then there's something else. So yesterday's little instalment was an MP up the road here from where I live in Brisbane, and he decided he was at a landscaping business, and there was a worker there, a female employee, who was bending over, restocking the shelves, because that's what you do when you work at a landscaper. And so he decided to take photos of her nether regions, showing her underwear, okay? All right, some people will say she shouldn't have been bending over. You shouldn't be taking photos, and especially if you're a member of Parliament, let the woman just do her job and just butt out, okay? But that's just one thing that he has done. He has got a long history of really antagonising women and disrespecting women. The day before, it came out that he had been harassing and trolling two women online, one to the point where she was suicidal. Okay, our Prime Minister is loath to step in. He always takes a long time to do anything. He's really slow in that way, in taking action. And I must also comment too that this kind of misogyny and disrespect is not limited to the Liberal Party in Australia. It also does go on in the other major party called the Labor Party, but nowhere to the extent that it happens in the Liberal Party. Okay, Liberal Party have sort of gone down the abyss so low, they're just intense with this disrespect of women being raped, women being sexually harassed, touched in our Parliament, the icon of Australia. I'm just absolutely shocked. I'm so upset about this, but what I'm going to do, and lucky that I have trained myself over the decades to do this, I can actually refrain from judgment when I do a reading. So it's like I go to the back of my head and the ego is not working like it's working now. Okay, my ego is really upset about this, but when I read, I go to another place in my mind. So I thought I'd do a reading, because what is going to happen here? You know, there's all these things going on a daily basis, not just about this fellow up the road, but about multiple parliamentarians. The Attorney General, the first legal position in Australia, he is also under suspicion because a woman claimed that he raped her in 1988, and she went to the police, and after 3 months they still hadn't taken any action, apparently, and she killed herself. So this can neither be proved or disproven, you know. So there are just multiple things. Another government minister, the woman who alleges that she was raped at Parliament House, was a worker there, and she told people in the office, and they didn't deal with this rape appropriately. You know, she was not given adequate support. It's just appalling. Okay, so I'll get off my high horse. Let's start the reading, and I'm going to now calm down and get into the vibe, because I want to know what's going to be done about this. I have written to my own local member, Karen Andrews, who is the Minister for Technology, or Science, Industry, a few different things. And I've also been to visit her about this approximately 3 weeks ago, because I have been so terribly upset to the point where it is affecting my sleep. So let's get real and do a tarot reading. Okay, so we're looking at the energy around Scott Morrison's Liberal government in Australia and the misogynistic culture, because when you put all of these things together, it's not about so much individual incidents, but it's the whole sexual harassment culture in the Australian government. Okay, now what I'm seeing, I open the door, I'm going down into, it's black, it's very dark where I am. There's a concrete set of steps. So I'm walking down the steps, got a lot going on in my chest at the moment. There's water, there is a river at the bottom of the steps, and it is flowing. I can hear it flowing. It's actually sort of spiraling down. I'm just going to jump into that spiral of water and go down, down, down. We're going down into the earth. It's a very long way, which is fine. Okay, so I'm getting the words. Wow, there's a lot of gold coins here. This is to do with masculine change. Okay, transformation of the masculine psyche. I just got the words unleash. This is unleashing a tide of emotion, and not only in women in Australia, but in men as well. Even my husband's upset. He's an engineer. He doesn't get upset about things like this the way that I do, but he is upset. But it's not about me or him. This is on the collective level, and it is causing a whole tide of emotion to be unleashed in society at the moment. And we have the Hierophant here. This card, which is a feminine influence, by the way, and you'll notice she's dressed in red, which is about taking action. But this card represents knowledge. Now, you'll notice there's 2 keys here. I like to think that one of these keys is knowledge, and the other key is wisdom, because we need wisdom to know how to deal with this properly. It's not about Labor or Liberal. People go on about politics. It's nothing to do with politics. It's about respect and raising women, the perceived view of women in society, so that there is true equality. You know, we may not be the same as men, of course, and who wants to be, but we deserve every bit of the same opportunity and the same power and the recognition and approval that men get in society overall. So we need the wisdom to know how to apply the knowledge. But I'm just getting, see these books she's seated on here? There's more information in here, and they haven't been opened yet. So there's more to come out, okay? More is coming out about this. It's not done yet. All right, now you'll notice she's seated on that knowledge too. This is calling women to stand up and be open with the knowledge that they have. Step forward and open your book of knowledge and tell the world what has happened, okay? All right, card number 2. Card number 2. What do I see? I see green. Okay, well, oh, gosh. I see green, which is opportunity, but this one just came out. Says it all, doesn't it? How there is no more appropriate card than the 5 of Swords for what is happened to women, not only in Australia, but worldwide. Okay, this is all about domination by a masculine force. It's dishonourable treatment, degradation, it's humiliation. Okay, this is all about power over the masculine, having power over the feminine. Now, I need to make a very important point here. If you are a woman, you also have this energy in you. If you are a man, you also have this feminine energy in you. We have both masculine and feminine. So you can have women having power over women, but they're doing it from a patriarchal sense of power over. So this might be something to do with the Minister Linda Reynolds, who didn't get the proper care and attention for Brittany Higgins, who is the woman who has come out and said she was raped. And there's all sorts of other scandals too. There's so many now. There must be at least 10 going. I need a spreadsheet and to write them all down, because it's so easy to lose track with the number of scandals. You'll see here there's some swords in the background. This is about cutting, okay, stabbing even, but it can also be about thinking, logical thinking, and this is logical thinking without a heart, okay, no empathy. This guy up the road, Andrew Laming, MP, I was referring to, he now has been ordered by our Prime Minister to undergo empathy training, because he doesn't realise, of what he has done, that there's a problem. And he actually made a joke. He was forced to apologise, and then he made a joke about the fact that he apologised. Oh my God, it just gets worse every day. But this is logical thinking without empathy. And so think about how important it is whenever you think something that you run it through a human heart to make sure that it's compassionate, okay? All right, next card number 3. So that's the green, the growth. There's growth coming out of this. I've got my eyes open just at the minute, but I also see silver, and I think it's like a silver lining. When there's a cloud, there's a silver lining. Card number 3, what do I see? Okay, I see a cat here, a grey sort of tabby cat, and cats are like the witch's familiar. So this is a feminine, affectionate, intelligent, intuitive, slinky force of nature. It represents the feminine intuition, the feminine receptiveness, being, sitting in the sun and just preening yourself, things like that. And so the card that comes up is the 8 of Cups, okay? Another feminine symbol here in the green for growth and opportunity. Okay, so 8 of Cups can also represent like moving on or retreat from a very emotional entanglement or emotional situation, and this is certainly an emotional situation. This misogynistic culture that has always existed across Australian culture, however, it's getting worse, and our current government are loath to deal with it effectively. And that's what we just have to step up and bite the bullet and deal with it. You'll see the moon here it's been the new moon, and so now there's just the filterings of light coming through, the soft filterings, so a new moon represents new beginnings. So the feminine, the divine feminine, really is what this whole issue is about, and the divine feminine is moving on and getting on with it. Okay, find a solution. It's up to women to find a solution, because we can't always trust that other people are going to do it for us. All right, so card number 4, what else do I see around this misogynistic culture at Parliament House? Okay, going with that one there, closing my eyes. What do I see? I see some woman's hand here. She's painting a picture. It's very artistic, creative. I feel like there's some creative ways that are going to be used to deal with this. I do see women rising. I get the sense of women rising through creative ways. I also get the word grassroots, so I feel like there's some sort of grassroots movements or organisations, associations, maybe even, now this is really weird, we have this sort of very old-fashioned kind of organisation, that's the perception, the Country Women's Association, okay? They might do something about this. If it's not them, it's an organisation similar. The card that comes up is the Page of Swords. Okay, so this is usually somebody who is younger, but they bring news. Okay, and swords again is the analytical, functional thing, and that's what the issue has been in part, is that the government is dealing with these things on a very sort of logical basis, when it's not really it's not just a logical issue. It's an issue where empathy and just being a good human, just be a good human. You don't have to be a bloody Einstein or something to figure this out, you know. Fair dinkum, these people. This can be a woman who is learning about the principles of power as well, okay? And I feel that this is going to sort of light a fire in women to step up and do something. You'll see here, there's birds here, the big picture, looking at the big picture. But some news coming, and because I'm basically an optimist, I always think it's good news that is coming. Okay, all right, next card, and the last card from for the reading, and then I'll just close my eyes and see if I see anything, do a psychic channeling at the end, as I always do. Okay, let's go with that card there. Again, the theme is on cars this month. I see a car, a large white car moving forward. It's a government car, carrying probably a government minister or somebody important in power, and it's a woman, and it's Tanya Plibersek is stepping out of the white government vehicle. I've actually met her on the plane once. She was extraordinarily polite. I think she's the second in charge of the opposition party. I'm just not sure of her portfolio or whatever. Yeah, she's a key person in the Labor Party in Australia. She's getting out of the car. She's got a plan. I can hear her talking. I can't quite hear what she says, but I hear the tone of her voice, and she is like deathly serious. There's some information or something she's got that she's going to use to make sure that something's done in the government. King of Swords. Okay, King of Swords is about the government. It's a mature masculine energy that's in full control. Okay, he is the law and authority over whatever. He got to this position on a long, hard road. He's seated on a diamond here and has a diamond at the back, which is about clarity. The blue here, it can represent the third eye, although I must say in our government there's not too much intuition going on, I can tell you. Swords are sometimes viewed as the most negative of the suites. I don't really see it that way, because when it's in balance it's fine, but the problem is it's out of balance. There's too much masculinity and it's toxic going on. Swords are about cutting, analysing, making a decision. But you know what? I was talking about Tanya Plibersek and how deathly serious she was when I pulled this card. I think this is her. I think this energy is in her. So it's not about our government. Like, I didn't realise, because when I met her, she was so lovely and polite and everything. I'm not a Labor voter. I don't care, as such. I vote independent. So, but she really did impress me. And when I was just reading them, when I said she was deathly serious, I felt it. There's a whole other side to her that we don't see, and this is it. So she'll be able to get some mileage out of this for sure. Okay, so we have the Hierophant, the Five of Swords, Eight of Cups, Page of Swords, King of Swords. All right, now my feeling was, there's only one major arcana here. My feeling was that something really positive was going to come out of this. It's not as far along as what I would have hoped. Okay, yes, there's something done, but going to be done, but it's comparatively minor when you have one major out of 5. Okay, we've got 3 minor arcana here, and we've got a king here and one major. Okay, so there's still a lot more to be done. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes now and see what I can see around this current Liberal government in Australia and the misogynistic culture at Parliament House. What do I see? I see an iron rolling out, ironing out the wrinkles, okay? Again, it feels minor. Yeah, right. Okay, the dress, it's a dress, ironing a dress. It has a big iron mark on it. They have to be careful that they don't do more damage in trying to fix the situation. They could, in fact, do more damage because there's a burn mark on this orange dress. And orange, of course, is the colour of the sacral chakra. This is all about sex, reproduction, and creativity. These are the main energies that are being affected by misogyny in Australia: creativity, sex, and reproduction. Okay, and this big brown birthmark. Sorry, I said birthmark. Wow, I was trying to say burn mark on the solar plexus area of the dress, and I said birthmark. So, the fact that you're born a woman, or you're born a female, I should say, and you're already sort of burnt or tainted in some weird way, which of course is not fair, and it's just appalling. Okay, what else do I see? I'm not going to focus too much on that. I'll get upset. I'll move on to the next vision. What do I see? Oh, it's like the cornfields in the sand that I've been watching. This has come up before in a reading. The evil is in the corn. When you go out into the corn and then you start seeing all this stuff, and the evil is in the corn. And I don't know what that really means other than that. I don't know how else to interpret that. So what's going to happen with this misogynistic culture? Okay, so I see things rising up. I don't feel it's going to be dealt with quickly. Yes, change is happening. It's slower than we would like. However, and there's so many other things, like COVID and so many other things, problems with China, and we have to balance all of this, but at least something's happening. There are steps that are being taken right now. Slow, too little, too late, some would say, but I am seeing flowers around that. So that implies that there's some sort of happiness or some sort of positive outcome to what is happening at the moment. However, it's not finished, and if you are in Australia, and particularly if you're a woman, do brace yourself, because there is more coming. Okay, so that's it, everyone. I hope you found this a bit interesting. I don't usually talk about Australian politics because usually it's not, it hasn't been that exciting. But I just feel I need to say something, because this is just every day. It's just becoming more and more disrespectful of women overall. Okay, have a lovely day, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.